Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's my first video with my face shown, so at least on this channel anyway. So just bear with me. I'm a bit shy, but I have to do it anyway. So today I want to talk about Worldcoin, and I believe there's a few things that people are not mentioning that are quite important. Like, what exactly is Worldcoin trying to do? A lot of people are just glossing over the metrics and a few things, and then ending the video. But I want to talk about something that they're doing that I kind of congratulate them for, which is the actual problem that they're trying to solve. So one of the main things they're trying to solve is the alternative process of KYC. So KYC stands for know your customer, know your client, and what they're trying to do is produce another way of showing that a person is real, a unique person, without the traditional KYC. So normally if you want to make a bank account or exchange or something important, usually you have to provide your proof of ID, proof of address, right? In first world countries, these are very easy. Like, we have a passport, we have a driving license, or we have like a proof of address, which is like a bank statement, etc., right? No older than 3 months. And so this is very easy for us. But in third world countries, they don't even have an address, right? So if they don't have an address, they can't get they don't get the benefits of KYC, right? But they are a unique human being, right? They are a person that is meant to be eligible for all these benefits, right? But the KYC, the traditional old KYC process, doesn't allow them to do that, right? Because they don't have an address and all these other things. So what Worldcoin is trying to do, at least one of the first things they're trying to do, is solve this problem of a unique human problem. So this is a blog post by Vitalik, and he actually talks about some of the different. This is his post about proof of personhood, which is the problem, or which is the mechanism, the name of what Worldcoin is used, but it's actually known as a unique human problem. So how do you prove a person is real and unique, right? And so there have been other solutions or other people trying to tackle this problem: Bright ID, Idena, Circles. And so when you can tackle this problem, so even with the traditional KYC problem, we have like other issues like centralization, a company having that data and they can easily be hacked, right? It's very inefficient, especially third world countries. It doesn't work properly. And so they're trying to produce a better method of proving a human being is unique and real and more efficient, which can be used for more people, right? So for example, in first world countries, it's very easy, right? You have an address, you have all these benefits, right? But in third world countries, how do you do that, right? So there's 8 billion people in the world. There's about probably 2-3 billion people that have banks like we have in the UK and America, and then there's like probably 1 or 2 billion that don't have those as services as us, and then a few billion that are completely unbanked, right? Because they can't do the KYC traditional method of verifying their identity, right? And so once you solve this problem, you can do many things, right? You can distribute tokens, you can distribute many things, and basically it can't be gamed, right? So one person can't claim for 3-4 people, right? He can only claim for himself different things. And so Worldcoin is actually trying to solve this, and basically this is what Vitalik is basically talking about. And so I'm going to talk about more about the project and the token, and if I plan to purchase it or not. But I just wanted to stress this point because I believe a lot of the videos are just talking about Worldcoin's tokenomics and they're just kind of glossing over it. But I got to give it to them because this is actually a hard problem that they're trying to solve. Now, whether or not you agree with the way they're doing it is a different matter, but the fact that they're trying to solve this problem, which is an important problem to solve, is commendable. So Worldcoin, so if we look at their white paper, this is their documents, official documents by them. Sorry, I'm just looking at some notes because it's quite a long video. So Worldcoin, what is it? Worldcoin was founded with a mission of creating a globally inclusive identity and financial network owned by the majority of humanity. If successful, Worldcoin could considerably increase economic opportunities, scale a reliable solution for distinguishing humans from AI online while preserving privacy, enable global democratic process, and show a potential path to AI funded UBI. So in short, basically, this method, if they can solve this problem, is going to be a huge win for humanity, right? And like I said, we're going to talk about a bit more about how they're planning on doing it. But the actual problem, if solved, especially with this AI coming online, etc., identities being faked, or one person or a computer using a picture, etc. Like this identity problem is only going to get worse with AI. And so here they talk about how it's going to work. It says World ID is privacy preserving proof of personhood. If it enables users to verify their humanness online while maintaining their privacy through zero knowledge proofs via a custom biometric device called Orbs. So Orbs is basically a physical device where they have it in different cities, and you can go there and basically you'll have to download the app on your smartphone, and what it does, it scans your retina, your iris, and it basically creates a hash. A hash is basically a unique sentence of like numbers and letters, and it's basically unique, so it's like an ID basically. And so this is what the Orb is. And so here I found out a very good explanation of how it works. So however, it's a TechCrunch article, obviously I'll leave everything in the description. However, that's actually what's actually happening under the hood is that the Orb takes a picture of an iris, and the device subsequently generates a unique encoding of the randomness of the iris, an iris code. Bolgar added, per default, the original biometric is immediately destroyed, and the iris code is the only thing that leaves the Orb. Okay, so that's basically how it works. You have a smartphone and you download the app, you scan your iris, and then you'd basically have an ID on your phone. Okay, so that's basically their way of tackling the matter. Now I just want to talk about if there was anything else here that I highlighted. So the next thing I want to talk about is a bit more about the team. So there's a couple of team members, but the notable person is Sam Altman. He's basically the person behind the famous ChatGPT that launched recently, and the company behind that is basically OpenAI, and he was previously briefly CEO of Reddit, and he's also president of Y Combinator. So that's basically the company that incubates a lot of the Fortune 500 companies that you might have heard of in America, IC in short. So he's quite an affluent person. He's known. He's quite intelligent. He reminds me a bit about Mark Zuckerberg, which is also the other problem. Like, would you want to give one person that much control, right? So he's already like, he's already owns ChatGPT and YC, and like he's quite like Mark Zuckerberg. He's got WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, right? So like he's quite influential in that sense, but more about that later on. So what I want to do is talk about the raises. So they've done 2 raises. They've actually done up to Series C. The last round was done at I haven't got the article here, but it was done at 115 million. The raise after 115 million, $3 billion valuation. Okay, so now just going to talk about the token, then I'm going to talk about some of the issues that people have raised, and then my final thoughts. So right now you can see the token, there's 10 million. Actually, I'll talk more about the token with my thoughts, because it's, it will make it more concise, the video. So some of the issues that people have raised, there's one here by Edward Snowden, where he talks about global hash database of people, iris scans, and waves of the implications by saying we deleted the scans. So he was quite critical of it. And then obviously we have Vitalik's criticism. So these are some of the main issues that he's highlighted. There's a privacy issue, there's accessibility, and there's a centralization issue, and also security. So these are quite big problems with the Orb and the way Worldcoin is going about it. And lastly, I want to show Zach XBT's thread, which is quite interesting because he raises quite important topics. So he says most alarming to me is how Worldcoin team has boasted to have many users when in reality they have been exploiting people in developing countries. So I read somewhere that they give roughly about 25 tokens, that about today's price about $50. Now you got to really think about like how does that, like a lot of poor people, right, for $50 they might do that, but are they being exploited? Because they're probably thinking, yeah, just scan my eye, but if they weren't in that poor situation, would they actually do that? That's actually something to think about. Like, do these people actually know what they're giving up in return for, just $50? Yeah, it might be a lot of money for them, but if they actually knew what they're sacrificing, would they really do that? That's something to think about. Here they're saying verification that you're a real person seems only currently enforced at the enrollment level. So there's people actually selling accounts on Telegram, which is crazy. Like the whole point of this was to not be able to do that, right? So that's crazy that people are actually selling accounts on Telegram. And then it says Worldcoin increased the amount of allocation to insiders from 20% to 25% according to CoinDesk. right? And then there's this article, and then there's a video of this guy actually comparing it to Bitcoin, which I find even more cringe. Like, how are you trying to compare it to BTC when you've given 25% to insiders? But anyway, that's not a big thing in that sense. Then we have Vitalik. He mentions Vitalik and the concerns Vitalik has made, and then he does his closing remarks. But I find this thread quite interesting. Anyway, lastly, I just want to talk about my personal position on the token. First things first, the tokenomics are, well, for lack of a better word, very bad. And I don't know if you guys realize, but this total market cap, total supply is 10 billion, and there's only like 1.1, like 110 million is basically 1.1%. So there's not even 2% circulating, guys. So it's going to be raining tokens. You do not want to touch this. I personally would not touch this. Yeah, it might have a short-term pump on, the fact that it's new, whatnot, etc. But this is just, the tokenomics are just set to make it go down and down, because the how much tokens are gonna come out, right? And out of 110, I read somewhere that 100 million or around that much is for market makers, and so so there's very less that the actual people own, right? Market makers have the majority. But even without that amount of tokens that's going to come out, literally 98% of the tokens haven't come out on the market. So I don't know any other project that has this low flow on the exchange, and so therefore I personally will not be purchasing it. I just think the tokenomics are very bad. But I do find the project quite interesting, and I do I have to give it to them for the fact that they're trying to solve a very hard problem. But yeah, the token is just not one for me. And lastly, I just want to say that one more thing of the fact that they're selling these tokens, or they're giving these tokens out for free to third world countries. I don't know, I just feel a bit queasy about that, because a lot of poor people, for $50, that would be a lot for them. That might be able to feed some people for a whole week, and I feel a bit sorry, because like they might be doing it for the just that short-term gain. But these things, like, if they really understood what they're giving up, obviously I personally would not use this iris scan for $50. Who's gonna want to do that in a first world country? I think most people realize it's not ideal, but for third world country, I do feel for them. But anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed my video, and I'll see you in the next one.